Hey, hi. So, you looking? I need to tell you guys something about this video. It's like milk that might have been out of the refrigerator a little too long. It's like when you leave the fruit in the sun a little bit for like maybe 5 hours by accident because it fell out the window, you ain't know. It's like meat that also you left out in the sun.
Trying to figure out how to tell people there's spoilers in your video about this movie.
Maybe.
Dude, for crying out loud, just tell them they're spoilers.
Cooler when we're mysterious. Come on, man.
Get on with it. Well, this guy says it's time to talk about Black Panther, the movie, not the album. But I probably will do a raw thoughts on that at some point. I will say the album real quick. The album did inspire, some of my theories and thoughts about the movie. So I definitely wanted to just say that because, oh, this movie was wonderful. The first thing that hit me was the kind of weird, like, this is bittersweetness, um, you know, that hits you because Wakanda is just kind of like this what if scenario. Obviously, there's no such thing as vibranium, and there's not this crazy advanced tech like of pulling, like fixing your spine within like it's just not that level of technology in the world. So please don't assume when I say that it's what if. Obviously, we don't have vibranium, but maybe we could. Maybe we could. Who knows? Um, it was just bittersweet feeling of just just how much it kind of hurt to think about. Like, what if Africa wasn't colonized and dealt with slavery and all kinds of racial injustices that just kind of spread across America and all kinds of stuff that happened in the world. So that was just kind of this like sobering thing in the back of my mind. Like I was still immersed in the world. I was still like, oh, which I'll get to in a second. But just that was in the back of my mind. Like, man, what could be? But I feel like people think about that every day. But this movie kind of just like kind of slaps you with it. Like, bet you didn't think about that before. Like, at least for me, it wasn't something that I was, always crazily like obsessing over. And now it's just kind of this crazy thought in the back of my head. But this movie was freaking awesome. And it was so good to the point when it ended, I thought it only went for 30 minutes. I thought I was like watching a YouTube video. And the reason I say watching a YouTube is because it felt so short, but it wasn't bad short. It wasn't the bad short. It was, no, we're not done here. We need about 7 more hours of this. We need about 17 more movies of this. I want to see things in Wakanda. I want to see daily life. I want to see, it was awesome. It was an amazing experience to feel that immersed in a world at the same time that I'm thinking, man, what would have happened if, just stuff didn't hit the fan, If stuff didn't hit the fan, what would have happened? And at the same time being like, this is so freaking cool. This is so freaking cool. Like, I just loved it. There was an atmosphere about this movie that I don't even know if anyone else felt this, but there's this charged emotion. Kind of just like, whoa. Like, even if you like weren't like, oh my god, Black Panther, in the inside, at least me, I was just like, this is just gonna be crazy. And I'm watching all the interviews, I'm watching all the things. So basically, within the story of Black Panther, you have a king trying to figure out how does he want to rule. And then you've got all these other layers of real life things. You got talking about how African Americans had to deal with racial discrimination and how that affected them. And that's brought in through the lenses of Killmonger. And T'Challa is this royal African, royal African who wasn't really in America. You know, he didn't really see all the things that happened in America. While Killmonger suffered from no injustice, T'Challa was on next to the throne. He was next up. And I love how they clash, because it's done in a way that isn't just, they are literally two extremes. They represent those extremes, but they are, like, Killmonger's a relatable villain. Killmonger was a wonderful villain, and I need to talk about the fact he shouldn't have died. He shouldn't have died. He should have lived. He should have had a redemption arc, and we should have ended the movie off of him going back home and helping those kids and helping where he was from. So it was a touching moment when T'Challa did it, and he went back to the exact spot that Killmonger grew up on. And you're like, oh, that's cool, but it just would have hit way harder. I personally feel this movie covered so many different things and so many different themes. There was one thing that Ryan Coogler, the director of the movie, broke down. I watched a video of him breaking down just one of the fight scenes. Freaking T'Challa, Nakia, and Okoye were wearing different colors, because that's what people do. But they represented an African flag. Like, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about Okoye kicking ass and Nakia kicking ass too. And I'm like, there's just all these different things that a movie itself entails, and stuff like that just inspires me to make film. Like, I want to make freaking crazy movies and just all kinds of stuff happening like that. So for me, this movie was freaking awesome. I feel as though Killmonger as a villain was so freaking relatable. Like, it was nuts. Because you look at him and you're like, well, he's a bad guy. He's killing people. But it's not that simple. He wants to go back home, and he wants to fix problems. He still wants to fix problems. He's still out here trying to fix the problem in the best way he thinks is possible. If that means breaking down the Wakanda government, becoming the king, and sending out all the technology and arming the people he thinks will help them take the uprising against oppressors, then the sentiment of his goal is so strong that you're almost like, are you really the villain? Are you sure? Because I'm rooting for you right now, and I think that's a good villain. When they're clearly still doing like pretty evil stuff, and you're still like, I mean, he killed like 100 people, but it's for his home, man. And he lost his father to the same government. And the reason that he lost his father to this government was because, by government I mean the king, T'Chaka killed his dad, which directly, like, caused Killmonger's like frustrations, because he had learned about how Wakanda existed, and Wakanda had all this tech, but they couldn't bring it out here for some reason. And the reason they couldn't was because they were holding on to traditional beliefs. And the way these traditional beliefs affect T'Challa and Killmonger are incredibly significant on how they go at each other. But it helps them evolve. Killmonger helps T'Challa, who is already kind of on the ropes about it, because Nakia brings it up to him at first. She's like, yo, I've been thinking we should probably share our tech. We should probably help people out, because we can't just keep sitting in here, because eventually stuff might go down. Or just, there are humans out there. And the first thing that went in my head, oh my God, America. And the way that people react to immigration and refugees, and you're just like, dang, okay. Because you like, at first you're just like it's kind of an obvious thing, but you still kind of go, damn, that's right. Because the problem with the traditional thing is that you have the ability to help people, and you have to live with the fact that there will be technical blood on your hands that you could have prevented had you done certain things and put yourself in certain positions to help others. But you chose to stick with the thing because you didn't want anyone bothering you, because you were more worried about the chance that someone could, there will be a bad seed in there. There's always bad people in anything. No matter where you go. You can go to class, there's probably one person in there that you might not like, or might cause trouble for you, and might hinder your educational experience. To which I say, give them a piece of gum. Maybe if they chew it, they'll just stop talking for 2 seconds so you can hear what the teacher is saying. I don't know. But there's always bad people. That doesn't mean that that one person can destroy everything. It is the system and the strength of the people and how they perceive it and how they wish to change, how they vote on things that can truly affect the world. I think that was just such an awesome thing to think about, the fact that Wakanda can relate to that, to just that bit in America. But still, you have the other subplot of Africans versus African Americans. African Americans chilling in America. Some of us don't know our history, but we still are proud to be black, and we feel like there are significant issues that affect us, and there are. There's a lot of racial discrimination. There's all kinds of stuff that affect African Americans. But Africans got their own problems. And so that clash of T'Challa versus Killmonger just brings up so many different feelings, and just damn, I should know my history. And damn, why don't they care about us? Because we're all the same. We're all the same pigmentation. But there's so many levels to it. So it's very important. I just scared myself. I saw my hand, but I thought it was someone else's hand, from my chair, somehow coming up from the floor, coming to kill me. So it was just. So getting off of the fact that I feel like Killmonger should have lived, because I feel like that would have had way more impact of him just being able to have that power of helping his place. Because I understand he was so far in it, he's lost his mind, but he was still there. He was still in there, And I understand it was to drive T'Challa to be okay, fine, I can't have this idea anymore. Because Killmonger helps T'Challa evolve as a character. Whereas before he was a little more rooted to his traditional sense. I think another important thing about T'Challa was the fact that he was vulnerable. He wasn't just, oh, I lose, and then I win, and I win, and I win, and I win, and I win. It was, I almost lost, and we understand that it's like a it's a Black Panther movie. Black Panther's gonna win eventually, right? But making him vulnerable allowed not only, African American males, the stereotype is supposed to be tough and always just like no emotions, just kind of rigid. I think that's for men in general, but you know, usually people expect African Americans to be very stoic, or they expect them to be violent. They don't really give people, not all people, by the way. It's just like the stereotypical assumption and the racist assumption, and allowing African American characters to show emotions and depth against the normal stereotypes. Oh, all black girls just want to fight and throw their weave and shit, or oh, all black guys just sag and want to fight dudes. There was no like dad walked out on like there was no dad walked out on the kid. There was no pushing drugs. There was no, there wasn't black stereotypes, and it was freaking awesome. I'm sick of them. I was just sick of them. And instead, there was just this empowerment of black people and showing how they have so many different layers, because we have so many different layers, just like other people do. And yeah, just showing that like he's not just the king that's gonna sit in the throne and be like, yo, we're gonna do this now. No, he goes out on the battlefield. And again, I know it's Black Panther, so of course he would do that, but it's just the strength of him doing that, the strength of seeing him do that, versus in other movies where you see the king, he's just chilling in the throne like, okay, I need like 50 sacks of my finest turkey or something like that. You get to see him out there. And the whole ceremony thing was such a wonderful, I don't know if it's from the comics because I've never read the comics, but if that's a part of it, that's freaking awesome. I love that. The fact that you take away his powers and make him fight at his normal strength to prove he's the king. Perfect. And Killmonger suplexed him off. He suplexed him off that, like, he John Cena'd him off of the, like, he attitude adjusted him off the freaking, I was just like, ooh, I guess we're okay. But yeah, I loved the fact that they had a relatable villain. The hero was vulnerable. Okoye Nakia Shuri just knocked it out of the park. Just wonderful female characters that didn't need that didn't need sex appeal. Like, they didn't need to be like crazy sexy. And before, just to cut myself off here, that is not saying that females can't do what they want. And if you wear clothing that seems inherently sexual, then clearly you are not a good female. Like females can do whatever they want. They can wear whatever clothes they want. But it's just the depiction of the heroes that I think people felt females in general are not portrayed as anything more than an attraction for the wrong reasons. And so these black female character leads are able to portray women in a way that is both powerful and beautiful and smart. And all of these characters, Okoye is fiercely just attached to her nation, Wakanda. And she gonna fight anyone that tries to get in her way of that. That tries to, and not in the Killmonger way where she just kills everyone. It's more, I'm gonna defend my country. Shritty, what are those? Oh my god. This movie had like really fun, like really funny moments. that I really enjoyed because they kind of just hit you. You're like, oh, what the? Like it was just kind of just awesome. Like when she said, "Oh yeah, it collects kinetic energy," I'm like, "Oh my god, they're gonna make him kick it, and he's gonna go fly." And they did it, and it was hilarious. I loved it. The what are those with the flip flops? What else happened? That was the I'm a vegetarian line. Oh my god. This movie was wonderful because you felt so many things. Like you were just laughing. I know, it was a very charged, emotional movie because you're laughing, but you're also like, damn, and you like might cry. You might. It's just a lot of things that encompass this movie that were wonderful and enjoyable, and I would watch it again. And I usually am like, I'm not gonna watch a movie again, but this is a movie I will watch again. I think I covered like most of my. I think I got every bit of my thoughts out. I'm gonna do one on the album because I wanted to talk music before, but I just felt like, oh well, I'm not educated enough. I don't know enough about music, but I'll just give my personal feelings on it. And that's what this is. This is my personal feelings on Black Panther. I just enjoyed so much about this movie and how it transcended being just a superhero movie. It was celebrating being black. It was celebrating being African. It was celebrating your roots. It was celebrating the roots. It was celebrating how people can come together. Even if it came at the sacrifice of someone else, it helped Killmonger. Like I said, even though I don't agree that Killmonger's death, I respect it because it helped turn T'Challa away from the isolationist ideas that his previous ancestors as well as his father upheld, which ended up causing the problem in the first place, which he struggled with because I don't think he was initially sure of what he should do. And so he kind of naturally just went to what was more comfortable. And then Killmonger was this kind of, oh no, we're not doing the same thing anymore. I'm pretty sure he literally said those words. We're not doing the same thing. I know he said, hey auntie, that was funny. I was sitting there like I wanted to cheer for Killmonger. Like he was a great villain. But yeah, Black Panther the movie was just something that felt empowering. So I would say I'm hoping that you watched this video and somehow got through 22 minutes of me talking. And I'm hoping you've already seen the movie because there's spoilers. This is like, if you haven't watched the movie, you shouldn't watch this because I'm talking about shit that like happens in the movie, and you kind of like need to see the movie so you're not like, what the fuck? He just told me the entire story of the movie, and now I'm upset. I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna wrap up my uncut thoughts and say, in summary, wonderful movie. I was immersed so hard that when I got unimmersed and I realized the movie was over, I was upset because I wanted more, and it was because it was so enjoyable and it was so wonderful. It's like when you take a vacation and you come back home, you're like, this isn't Hawaii. This is not Hawaii. Take me back to Havana. And I love the empowerment. I feel empowered. I feel inspired to make really cool stuff. Like, just seeing how well this movie has done. And it's just going to be awesome that black kids get to see someone like Chadwick freaking Boseman and Michael B. Jordan. Okay, well, Michael B. Jordan as a person, great. Actor, great. His villain guy, relatable. Seeing all these characters and hopefully being like, I can be here too. Because you finally have something that's so big, it's almost impossible to not see. Because I understand Blade was technically a superhero and he was really cool, but I don't think like it's having the same. I don't think Blade had the same impact that Black Panther's having right now, and all of the things that it talks about. I don't think it. I don't think it hit those same like it didn't scratch the same ears. It isn't, but it's still a good movie. It's still cool. The concept was really awesome. But yeah, it's just I can be like, yo, I look like Black Panther, and there are kids that can be like, yo, I look like him. You mean I can be like that? I can. Obviously, you don't have any heart shaped herbs to be drinking, and no people be suplexing off, not suplexing, but fireman's carry off of the whew, off the thing, but still, it's just the idea of like having a black hero. It's really freaking cool, and we've had black heroes, but having a black superhero is important for kids who can't always and we definitely had like Barack freaking Obama, first black president. Anybody heard of him? But yeah, just having a black superhero that looks like you is really just freaking cool. So I'm gonna stop before I like just keep mumbling. And yeah, this has been my sushi thoughts on Black Panther.